asked embattled pensions boss Abdulrashid Maina to pack his bags with immediate effect. The president also wants a full report on circumstances around his recall. Southern governors converge on Lagos State's devolution of powers, fiscal federalism, issues of security and more on the table. The agenda is clear. What about the priorities? Hello everyone and welcome to Politics Today Live at the venue of the Southern Governors Summit in Lagos, so the Government House in Lagos, the capital, Ikeja, the capital of Lagos. Welcome everyone. My name is Seun Okinbaloye. Let's come to our major story of the day. We are at the venue of the Southern Governors Summit, where the governors of the 17 states on the southern region of the country are meeting in Ikeja, the capital of Lagos State. And one thing is on their mind, perhaps a very critical issue that's being of national discourse, and that is restructuring. What exactly are we restructuring, if we may ask? So the governors are saying they will talk about the devolution of powers, and also on the table is the issue of how wealth is distributed in Nigeria. So much to talk about tonight on the program. We are hoping that some of the governors will join us. But for now, let's speak with the Director General of the Southeast Governors Forum, Professor Ortuanya. Thank you so much for joining us on the program tonight. Let's begin with the conversation. We have the Southeast Governors Forum, we have the North Governors Forum, now the Southern Governors Forum. This is perhaps the first time this is happening in about 12 years. What is the essence of this kind of forum?
Well, thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. I think essentially the whole idea is for Southern integration within the larger context of Nigeria as a nation. So there is a recognition that the Southern governors of Nigeria have every need to continue to meet, to continue to discuss their welfare, and then the welfare of Nigeria as a whole. So I think this is happening at a time when the need for unity, the need for one voice in this country can never be overemphasized. I think that is what has informed their coming together at this point.
What would you say is the major challenge of the southern region of the country today in Nigeria?
Well, you know, historically and again geographically, that Nigeria, we had the south and we have the north. And we are aware that we do have Northern Governors Forum. And I think it follows logically that it is also good to have Southern Governors Forum. The idea is that integration, growth, development, and unity can be better enhanced if the governors of the south start coming together. And if they can have one voice, whether it is national issue, whether it is regional issue, that I think Nigeria will be better off for it.
Today, some of the agenda, if you can tell us, you're privy to some of the issues that they may be discussing tonight here in Lagos. What are they going to be discussing majorly, and what do you think is on the minds of perhaps all these governors that is unique to all of them?
Well, I think the fundamental thing, and we must recognize, is that this is an inaugural meeting. Because the meeting is inaugural, we may not really get what we have expected in terms of the major issues that will be discussed. I look at this meeting as a matter of their coming together, taking the inauguration, perhaps nominating some officers, and then they will take a kind of a panoramic view of what is going on in the country. And more importantly, they will speak to the language of unity of Nigeria. That is fundamental. They will speak to the language of Nigeria as a unit, as an indivisible entity. And then within that context of unity, perhaps other issues that we have been talking about will come in. But the meat will not likely come out today because this is inaugural. So they will have a touch on matters of devolution and restructuring. but it's not going to be very, very deep today.
I mean, the matter of restructuring, because even the APC, as a party, has come now to say, we want to understand what this restructuring is all about. They have asked for the definition of restructuring from a committee. They, in fact, set up a committee to look into the issue of federalism, true federalism. Today, we have governors from the PDP, governors from other parties, and governors from the APC. How do you think they can be able to achieve to sing from the same hymn book? Well, politically speaking now.
No. I think that, you see, the question of Nigeria is beyond political party. And the question of the unity and survival of the country is beyond political party. In the same way, when you talk about development, for instance, development does not know APC or PDP or any other party for that matter. So I think that the fundamental thing is that the governors are putting aside their political parties, their political persuasion, and they are saying, let us come together and move Nigeria forward. And if you look at it from the regional perspective, they're also saying, let us come together and move the southern part of Nigeria forward. And if they can come together and with one voice move in to look at the larger context of Nigeria, then things will be much easier for this country. And I believe that development will be faster.
It's very interesting. If you look at the northeast region of the country, there is a unique challenge to that region of the country. If you look at the south part of the country, there is a unique challenge to that. In the southeast also, you might say there is a unique challenge to that region of the country. But is there a unique challenge to the southern region of the country?
Well, if you look at it, we cannot exist in isolation. What affects perhaps the southeast or the south-south affects the southwest. So I think there ought to be a holistic approach to development and a holistic approach to the issue of integration. So we cannot say the southern part of Nigeria, so long as there's no problem in the southwest today, then everything is okay. Because tomorrow there may be a problem in the southwest. So I think it is important that we're looking at things from that regional perspective, southern Nigeria. And if southern Nigeria can come together, deal with the problems of southeast or the problems of the south-south, then it is much easier for Nigeria. Now, we know that, again, in the north, the Northern Governors Forum, there's problem in the northeast. Okay, so if we can handle the northeast and then we handle the southeast and south-south, then Nigeria is home and dry.
If you look at the situation, what would you say? Because if you go up north, the definition of restructuring might be different. What do you think restructuring is in the south, in the southern region of the country?
I think we'll preempt the governors if we try to define it.
You are the Director General of a think tank.
Yes.
I mean, for the southeast region. I mean, if you look at it holistically and truthfully now, a lot of Nigerians are watching, millions of them right now, and they're perhaps looking at the way we can forge ahead in terms of the unity and the questions that have come up. What would you say is that major definition that the southern region of the country is giving to the issue of restructuring?
Well, let me just hazard a guess, and I can conveniently say that restructuring, whether it is restructuring or any other language, there's need for equity, there's need for fairness. And what people are saying is, if there's fairness, if there's equity, if everybody is happy, then it means that we have achieved our objective.
You think there is no fairness in the distribution of wealth?
We feel, a couple of people in the southeast, for instance, feel that they should have something more than where they are today. So if they are satisfied within them that yes, there's a fair deal, then they probably wouldn't be bothering about restructuring. But still, it is important that whatever is going on in the country, that are just feeling that yes, we are part of it, that yes, we have been treated fairly. I think that will, to a large extent, reduce the issue of clamor.
If you look at the congregation of these governors today, it looks, if you take a peep inside of this building where we are seated right now, where the governors are going to be meeting, and they sort of, and people that are there, we have lawmakers, we have government officials across the country. If you look at the congregation of the governors today and the representation, it's politically speaking, those that are not present and those that are present, Is there any political undertone to perhaps the attendance of today?
There is none. There is none. As a matter of fact, the attendance have been wonderful. We have people from PDP, people from APC, people from APGA, for instance.
There's some governors that are not present.
Yes, those that are not present sent in their deputies.
So how many of them are not present?
I am sure that the deputy governor of Anambra State is here. I am sure that the governor of Abia is here. The governor of Enugu is here. The governor of Akwa Ibom is here. So I think we have more than 80% attendance. I think it's an A when you talk about attendance.
How solid would the Southern Front be when it comes to this Southern-Northern concept of groupings?
Well, the fundamental thing, and we need to emphasize it, is that the meeting of Southern governors is nothing other than for the better interest of the totality of Nigerians. We can speak specifically about the region, the Southern region of Nigeria, but ultimately it's all about Nigeria. It's all about unity. But more importantly, the Southern part of Nigeria feel that they ought to speak with one voice. And if they have a voice, then they can go to the center. They can now go to Nigeria and meet their brothers and their sisters from the northern part.
What would you say is best for us? Some people are suggesting regionalism. Do you think that is commonsensical in the language of our political formation as a people?
It's an ongoing conversation. It's an ongoing conversation.
But you see regionalism as a reasonable alternative?
It has been speculated by many that that is the best for this country. But I think that at the appropriate time, whether it is the Southern Governors Forum or whether it's at the center where the South will now meet with the North, they will come up with an option that will be best for the country.
It's interesting. Before I allow you to go, Prof, at this point in our lives as a people, I mean, this is political, of course. We have so many parties. Tell me, multi-party system, two-party system, what would you think is right for us?
Well, we have practiced two-party. We are in multi-party today, and democracy is about choice. I think people should be allowed to make their choices.
Thank you so much, Professor Ortuanya. He's the Director General of the Southeast Governors Forum. He's been talking to us.